Yo, 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 it's your boy Sean Puff. I'm here with Mike K, and this is Smarks, Spotmonkeys, and Superkicks. What's up, Mike? How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Pretty good, just hanging in there. Coming off a great weekend of wrestling last weekend, watching AEW. I enjoyed it. I don't know if you watched the review that I did with Travis Moody from God Hates Geeks. I kind of enjoyed it. Some people didn't. I thought it was fucking great. It was something needed. What were your thoughts on the show overall?
I thought it was good. I thought the show was good. They did a good job. There wasn't anything that I didn't like about it. It was a good pay-per-view. It was pretty. Everything that happened was pretty much expected. I was pretty happy about it.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed the whole show. They had their comedy shit. You know, I'm not a big comedy wrestling fan guy, but it was well done. Where they put it in that stadium stampede match, I think it was well done, and they made it work. It wasn't. It was 10 times better than Money in the Bank. That's my thoughts.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, it's 1,000 times better than Money in the Bank.
Yeah. So this week, did you watch AEW this week?
I did.
I didn't watch the whole thing yet. I'm still going at it with it right now because I was kind of up in New Hampshire. But I did see that the Revival now being called FTR because
they can't use the Revival.
Well, it's not even just that. After the Revival, they were going to be the Revolt.
Yeah, FTR is fine.
I guess.
Actually, I don't have a problem with that name. I mean, they're going to get SCU and an FTR too.
I guess that's a way to look at it. And I wasn't looking at it that way. To me, I was just like, that's kind of dumb. They were going to be the Revolt, and then another tag team was like,
better than the Revolt. I don't like the Revolt.
No?
No, I don't like that name.
Why not?
I don't know. It just doesn't sound right. Like
there's another tag team that uses the Revolt. That's why they couldn't use it.
Oh, that's fine. That tag team must suck because.
Yeah, I just dropped something on my floor. I'm trying to get it.
Revolt's not a good name. I like FTR better.
I don't really care either way. I like the Revival better, so.
Yeah, of course, I'm just going to call them Dash and Wilder, even though that's not their names.
No, they're not that. It's Wheeler and something, right?
But I'm just going to call them Dash and Wilder because I don't know their name. Because that's who they are. You can change it.
Wheeler, I know that. I forget the other ones.
It's like the War Raiders being called freaking Eric and Ivar. It's like, no, you're Hanson and Rowe.
Can we talk about how this whole? I'm glad you brought that up. Let's talk about that today, because there's not a lot going on right now. We got our pre-shows coming up for Takeover and then Backlash. But until then, not really much going on this week. So can we talk about this whole stupid thing that they're doing with the Street Profits and the War Raiders?
I don't know. It's I think it's just because they have nothing else. They can't do like backstage segments or something, and they can't do like all this other stuff. So they got to do something else.
Technical issues.
Yeah, I see that. So I don't know. I mean,
it happens. Wrecking the set.
They have like nothing to do. So I don't know. You're killing time.
It's bad. It's not even good at all.
Terrible. Yeah, it's terrible.
So I'll tell you, the first one was funny when they did the basketball game.
See, I don't think any of them have been funny.
It was a little funny, where they whipped their ass and they're like, "Oh no, we would just let you in."
Yeah.
But it was uncalled for. It was unneeded, and then it's just gotten worse and worse and worse and worse. Right. Let's just have them wrestle. I mean, I guess it's better than 4 weeks in a row of them having the same match.
I suppose, but it's like it's I don't know. They're not even like. It's like we don't have any other tag teams, so we need to kind of just like put you two together because we don't have anything else to do. Because we really don't have any other tag teams going after the belts right now. It's just those two. Everyone else is doing something else.
Yeah, the whole thing is just like they don't have the tag division is just bad right now. There's nothing good about the tag division.
There's nobody there. They don't have anybody.
Yeah, I don't know. They've got to just everything they've done with the Street Profits. I haven't really been a fan of. I feel like they're just like that black guy that is always a comedy, and I hate that WWE does that with every black wrestler. He's a joke. Like who's not a joke? That's a black wrestler.
Doesn't like black people.
Bobby Lashley, I guess.
He's pretty much a joke. I mean, he went to a whole cuckold storyline.
Yeah, but they're kind of over that now, and they're gonna they're basically putting
so
now together the beatdown clan again.
So he can get jobbed out to freaking Drew McIntyre now.
I think if he gets jobbed out to Drew McIntyre, it's gonna be because one of two things are gonna happen.
Not winning.
No, he's not gonna win, but like if it's gonna work out one of two ways, right? Either Lana costs him the match, or Lana turns on him and joins Drew. So either way, Lana costs him the match.
Lana's not turning on to join Drew. It's just gonna she might cost her the match. Or no, yeah, it'll be something like that. She'll come out
because of the whole thing that's going on with them. You know what I mean? Like I think it's gonna be she'll help Drew because
she's not gonna help Drew. She's just gonna she's gonna be distracting. She'll come out and get in an argument with freaking MVP out on the side, out on the apron or whatever, outside the ring, and Bobby will get distracted and then get Claymore, and that'll be the end of the match. And then he'll blame it on Lana. And
then what'll happen from there? Like they have to do something with Lana. That's why I figured that she'd be involved with Drew in some way.
Yeah, I mean, then they'll just go back to being then they'll get a divorce and yada yada. They'll get a divorce and then she can leave.
I don't think she's gonna leave. I think she's a hot blonde. She's a hot blonde. Vince likes hot blondes.
Until Rusev's yeah, it's enough. You need to leave that show.
Rusev? Oh, Rusev.
Rusev, I mean, sorry.
Miro.
Yeah, until Rusev says, okay, yeah, it's enough. I don't want my wife on that show anymore. And then you can just and then she'll just leave. And she'll disappear.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting where that goes. I think that's going to be, I'm not against this whole storyline they're doing with that, but it kind of throws me off because they were just putting him with TMDK. MVP. They were putting him with TMDK. You know who that is?
No.
The team that was called TM61.
Oh.
It's one of those guys from TM61.
Oh, yeah, MVP's guys. Yeah, that's right.
And Brendan Vink. In the Indies and in Australia, because they're from Australia, they're called TMDK, the Mighty Don't Kneel. That's the actual name of their crew. And then they change them to, you're going to be TM61. Which makes no fucking sense.
Yeah. They don't know what they're doing, any of them anyways, because
they know what they're doing. It's the whole argument. We were just having, we're having this argument in the wrestling group. The problem today is the whole wrestling is for everyone crowd, thinking that, not understanding that wrestling and sports entertainment is two different things. And your sports entertainment fans aren't wrestling fans.
Right.
And they think they are.
Yeah.
I like Effie. He's gay. I like Nyla Rose. She's a trans. You don't like wrestling. You like sports entertainment, sweetheart.
And I think the problem is too is that you're trying to be entertainment in a time where nobody wants it.
There are people that want it.
No, we don't need it right now. This day and age, entertainment's for big crowds and shit like that. You can get away with wrestling without having a big crowd. Entertainment without a big crowd just comes off as just stupid.
I agree with you.
So it's just this is dumb because it's
so. With a big crowd, it's stupid. And I won't say that there hasn't been comedy throughout wrestling forever. It's just not as prevalent as it is today.
what doesn't come off because people don't. There's nobody reacting to it. You have no reaction to it. You know what I mean? Like
I didn't like
wrestling.
it before that. I didn't like start disliking this comedy crap once we didn't have fans. I didn't like it before. It was crap before. It wasn't good before.
Right, because you weren't getting any reactions to it. Now you have no one to even react to it.
We
Before
weren't
you at
getting
least
reactions because they started. Here's the problem that happened. WWF became WWE, and they went to this sports entertainment model, and they started pandering to the casual fans. And now that you brought in all these casual fans who really weren't about wrestling and were about all these other things, you brought in all these people who are now watching it, and now these people go to indie shows because, they like wrestling now because of what WWE's presenting, and now the indies have to put on this dumb fucking comedy crap because now the fans that are coming to see them locally are liking that because these casual fans are the fans that got into going now because of WWE. So WWE really pushed. The funny thing is, a lot of these people hate Vince McMahon and hate WWE, and in reality, he's what made wrestling what you like. If you're a wrestling is for everybody fan, you like Vince McMahon. You might not want to say it because it's not the cool thing to say. You like Vince McMahon, dude, because it's good shit, pal. And you like that dumb shit that he would find funny.
true. No, it's true.
He doesn't do the gay gimmick. Maybe that's not his thing. But I'll also say, yes, he does. Remember Adrian Adonis?
True, but I mean, he does. There's some things he doesn't like. He doesn't really go near, like you said. Like even like he has it in the past, but he's never like flaunted it or used it to like, as a crutch to do something else. Like AEW with Nyla Rose or and Sunny Kiss, things like that. Like
I can't blame. Here's the thing. Here's what I'm gonna say about AEW with Sunny Kiss. We don't really see Sunny Kiss. He's there. Does things. You think I'm Dark probably a lot. I don't watch much of Dark, but Sunny Kiss isn't being featured in a prominent role. So I won't get on them about Sunny Kiss because he's not like the main face. You know what I mean?
Yeah. My point is that like Vince just doesn't. It's not what Vince ever really does. He doesn't really like go in that direction.
No, you're right.
He just kind of. He's always the entertainer thing. Like you're right. It's always got to be funny things. It's always funny things to him, and he always thinks that like he thinks certain people are just meant to be a joke, and if that's like, what I mean, that just happens to be.
I think it also goes to people thinking that wrestling fans are just dumb people. Like Vince thinks that wrestling fans are stupid.
Oh yeah, of course, he definitely does.
And we don't prove him wrong with the dumb shit that a lot of wrestling fans follow. Like he sees the shit that you guys are watching. He sees like what's going on in the indies and the dumb shit that you guys are loving and Effie getting his own fucking show and the Walmart niggas, as I call them, doing that. Everyone loves them. Whoa, look at these Walmart guys doing wrestling moves. Whoa. Half of them are sloppy. Like half of those things when we did a Canadian Destroyer. That redheaded Negro does not do a good freaking Destroyer. I'm kind of glad that they kind of fell off the spotlight after.
He shouldn't be doing it anyways. Like that. I think that gives like wrestlers a bad name because like it gives them bad look because like you promote that like you have to that you're good at this and that this is something you've trained for your whole life, and then you get these clowns in Walmart doing the same moves. People are gonna be like, well, then it's not really that hard.
So then but that's the wrestling is for everybody crowd. These are the same guys. These are the same guys that like these are the Joey Janela's who book guys like this because Joey Janela came up and he wasn't really trained and he got a chance. Well, he wants to give everybody else a chance. And you're not inclusive. No, I'm freaking inclusive. Wrestling is for wrestling. Wrestling is for wrestling fans. Wrestling isn't for everyone. Sports entertainment's for everyone. If you want sports entertainment, go bring your sports entertainment to a sports entertainment place. Go find Vince and do some good shit and get over it because you're not a wrestling fan. Like, that's not what wrestling is. Wrestling isn't about superhuman just jumping on top of shit and Grimm's toy store putting on shit. Like, nobody cares. I don't want to see Superhuman versus Grimm from Grimm's toy store or Superhuman tagging up with Grimm against the Walmart niggas.
Yeah.
It's not. And if that's what you like, then you're not a wrestling fan. And here's the other side I'll say about it. Because I get these people that are like, well, I like this too. I think this wrestler's great. I like wrestling. Okay. Yeah, sure, you like wrestling. But you also are a sports entertainment fan. You're not watching it for wrestling. You might watch some wrestling for wrestling, but then you watch other wrestling because you like the sports entertainment, because you like the comedy and you like the bullshit.
Right.
Because if you didn't, if you were a wrestling fan, you wouldn't be into that shit. You'd be like, this is dumb. It's not wrestling.
Right.
As soon as you say wrestling's for everybody, I said this today. Because so the whole thing, the whole comment that now they're jumping on, because as soon as someone says something that they think's catchy, they jump with it. I think wrestling's like Baskin Robbins. There's a flavor for everybody. Listen. Here's my comparison now. I'm gonna take a comparison and show you why it's dumb. You can go to Baskin Robbins, right? They got all these different flavors. Some of it's ice cream, some of it's frozen yogurt, and some of it's some other shit that's not even like really either.
Yeah.
Frozen yogurt and that other shit isn't ice cream.
True.
Just because you can go to a show and there's some wrestling, all that other shit is frozen yogurt and nonsense. It's not wrestling.
Right.
So, yeah. The Baskin Robbins has something for everybody, but it's not all ice cream. Just like it's not all wrestling. If you're into that shit, you don't like wrestling.
Right.
Yeah, and if you do like wrestling, you also like bullshit.
Right.
But it's this whole inclusive era that everyone inclusive, everybody this and that, blah, 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 blah. Get over it. Get over it already. Wrestling's not for everybody. It never was for everybody.
No.
Go back to the Attitude Era. The Attitude Era wasn't for everybody. Braun panty matches, not for everybody.
No.
ECW, Taipei death matches, not for everybody. Barbed wire explosion matches, not for everybody. When you look at the majority of wrestling, there's always been comedy in wrestling. But even the comedy spots in wrestling had what they were there for and their position in it. The comedy wasn't in the main event.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, now they make the main event comedy. No, that shit belongs the second, third, fourth match on the card.
No, yeah, exactly.
That's where you get King Kong Bundy and a couple midgets versus, I forgot who he fought at WrestleMania 3 and the other midgets. Remember when he splashed Lord Littlebrook, the midget?
Yeah, I remember all that stuff.
Yeah. And look what they did. They took the comedy and were like, we're going to make a serious moment out of this because it's WrestleMania.
Right. It's like Braun Strowman and Nick winning the tag belts.
Which was stupid and shouldn't even been in that position.
Right. But somebody thought it was funny, so they decided to do it. And there's nobody.
And that's not what wrestling should be about.
Right. And there's nobody out there being like, there's no one there saying, this is dumb. We shouldn't be doing this. Why are we doing this? This is stupid. Just get rid of it. It doesn't bring anything to anybody. And you're trying
to the table. It doesn't up the performance. It doesn't make the show better. No. Like, no one looks back and says, you know, it was great when Braun Strowman and Nicholas won the tag team titles.
Right, exactly. Exactly, yeah.
It's funny because when you look at a lot of the stupid shit they do, it's akin to a lot of the stupid shit WCW used to do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, what's the difference between David Arquette winning the WCW championship?
Exactly. There's no difference.
If anything, ready for this one? If anything, it's more believable that David Arquette would win the WCW championship than Nicholas winning the fucking tag team championship.
True. That's true.
So I don't know. It's nonsense. It's ridiculous. We need to get over. There's a lot of shit that we need to get over. I'm gonna get really. This is gonna be a controversial episode today because I'm gonna say some shit that's gonna piss people off. I probably already did. I'm gonna get worse right now. Let's talk about the bad shit that happened last week. Last week we found a 22-year-old Japanese female wrestler, Hana Kimura, committed suicide. Why did she commit suicide? Because she was being bullied online. They were attacking her for whatever. So I'm going to say this. There were some parts of it that are messed up and it shouldn't be cool. Like the people that were attacking her because she's like mixed. She's like different too. She was like Japanese and something else. And people were attacking her for that. Those people are shitbags. And they need to be dragged into the street and beat up. Okay? I don't condone that. I don't condone racism. Racism's never cool. Racism's never okay. Okay? Like, I'm saying that first before someone misconstrues what I said and makes it about that. Racism is not cool. But on the other side of things, the big problem that we have with society, the reason that these things happen like this, isn't because we need to stop people from being bullies. No, it's because we've done that for the past 20 years. We've pushed this, you can't bully, you can't tell a kid he's wrong, you can't disagree with his classmate, everybody gets a trophy, and if someone doesn't like what you say and it offends you, you tell a teacher, you'll be put in a safe space and they're going to make sure that person doesn't tell you that they disagree with you. And if it's your teacher, your principal's going to tell the teacher that they can't do that. So now these kids go into the real world and they find out, oh shit, there's no one there to tell me that I can't disagree with you. There's no one there to put me in a corner when I say something real to you, when I tell you that something you did wasn't good, when I give you criticism. You can't criticize kids anymore. These kids are growing up without getting the proper coping skills. And you and I have worked with kids for years. We worked with kids for years. I look at what we did in college when we worked with kids. We taught them coping skills. You talk to any of the kids that we worked at when we worked in those homes, the reason they do well is the coping skills we taught them. How to deal with someone disagreeing with you, saying something mean to you, not or giving you criticism. Today, there's a large group of people who don't have the ability to take it. And you see it in the wrestling community everywhere. Argue with somebody about wrestling not being for everybody and watch them lose their shit and get triggered. Don't have proper coping skills. And this is why this stuff happens. I'm not calling Hannah weak because no, you're saying she's weak. You're saying she needs to toughen up. No, I didn't say that. Don't put words in my mouth because I said exactly what I said and nothing more, nothing less. What I said is people don't have coping skills because we've raised a generation of kids in a bubble where they didn't need to learn coping skills and coping mechanisms. So now when they hit the real world, they don't have that. And when shit gets real, they don't know what to do, so they hurt themselves. It's the people that push that, it's your fault that these things happen. Yeah, I said that. Yeah, you might not like it. Yeah, it's controversial. It's your fault. Because if we weren't trying to coddle and protect everybody in a little bubble, they would have been brought up with the proper coping mechanisms to handle criticism, to handle somebody being mean to them, to deal with it in a proper way, a healthy manner. They don't know how to do it because we took that away from a whole generation. And that's what it is. And it's not weak. It's not that she's weak. It's not that she needed to toughen up. No, it's that she wasn't given a chance because we wrap our children in bubbles and don't allow them to be privy to what happens in the real world.
we also gave people an outlet for all this. The difference is that when we were kids, there was no social media. So there was nobody to sit there and run their mouth behind a keyboard all day long. There wasn't there. So the problem is, you're right in the sense that people need to, to handle themselves and whatnot when it comes to, coping skills, things like that. But also, why the fuck do we have things like Twitter? Things like fucking any of that shit. It's the dumbest fuck. I've said I hate fucking Twitter.
I like Twitter.
It's the fucking dumbest thing we've ever created in our lives. And then we bitch and moan when it backfires on us. It's like, why the fuck do we have Twitter? I don't give a flying fuck what your opinion about anything is. So why are you even allowing people to talk to you? Like, and I mean, I am a big proponent too that I think cyberbullying is nothing but bullshit, because I think it's nothing more than because you want it. You want the attention. It's attention grab. It's what it is.
You don't know the person. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, listen, I can understand if someone you see every day is giving you shit. Like, I was
Right.
I was a nerd when I was a kid. They called me Urkel. I had to fight. I had to punch people in the mouth to get them to stop calling me Urkel.
Right.
But these are people I saw every day. So it bothered me. Yeah, it was hard. But I had to learn how to cope, and I had to learn how to manage and not let it bring me down and ruin me.
Seriously.
That's why I'm so outspoken now. That's why I defend myself now, because I learned how to cope, and I learned how to deal, and I learned how to stand up for myself dealing with that. But if it was somebody that I never saw, I couldn't care less. I put stuff on Twitter all the time. I tweet like all hell. You know what? Some people don't like me and they say shit. If anything, I come back at them. I've had
even then, it's like if you
I had Madison Rain talk shit to me on Twitter.
Right. I mean, I'm not saying
I don't know you.
Right, and I'm not saying that like, and part of it. I mean, if you're allowing people to dictate how your life goes, then you are weak. Sorry, it sounds terrible, but you're weak. You're literally allowing someone to dictate what you do in your life.
See, I don't agree with that, because I think it's because we didn't. It's more important because of things like Twitter and Facebook and social media and all this. These anonymous people who can come at people. It's more important today than it was when we were younger to have proper coping mechanisms. It's not that these kids are weak; they just don't know. No one taught them how to deal with it. Like these kids came up and it was like, if you said something mean, I'm telling the teacher, and now you're in trouble, and I can go sit in a safe space for a little while until I feel comfortable. When I feel comfortable, I can come back and join the class, and it's fine, because that kid upset me. So I can go in this little room and sit by myself and play with a toy until I feel better. Or there's a cat that we keep back there, or a little monkey, or a little rat, or ferret, and you can go play with the ferret for a little while until you feel comfortable and you're not offended anymore. Then you can come back in the room and join the group. Well, that doesn't happen in real life. So these kids weren't given the skills. So it's not just like they're weak. They were never taught how to manage any of this. So they don't know any better. So they're like, holy shit, what do you mean I can't go sit in a room and play with a ferret and this guy can just talk to me like this? Now what do I do? That's the biggest problem with it.
You get off fucking Twitter.
Sure.
You get off the fucking computer. Like if you don't want people to talk to you, get off the fucking computer.
Yeah,
go do something else.
Now where it's all about likes and reshares and retweets.
Why? Because that's what we built. We built it. That's
the problem. If you're gonna build something, you have to understand the downsides of it and how to protect against the bad things from it.
Well, fine, but then you gotta.
Everything has a negative. Everything we have has some type of negative to it. So if you have to look at the negatives and say, okay, well, here's a negative. How do we battle the negative? You don't battle the negative by saying, we need to stop bullies. No, you teach coping skills.
No, you just walk away.
And guess what? You can't stop me from saying something you don't like. Because on the other side of it, guess what? There's a thing called the First Amendment. I can say as long as I'm not like saying something that's completely derogatory, as long as I'm not being racist to you and telling you should die because you're whatever you are, that's wrong when people do that. I have an issue with that. But when it's not that, If I'm telling you, like, people get mad. Oh, it's just like you guys that say that Nia Jax injures people.
She does. She does.
Take it, then don't be on social media.
Right.
Or how about you get better at what you do?
Right.
Injure people.
Yeah.
And then I won't be able to say that you injure people.
Right. Stop injuring people. Maybe if you'd stop doing it, we wouldn't talk about it all the time. Stop injuring people.
But you
You're
can't
hurting wrestlers.
Don't criticize people. Why not? Like, so you just have to accept everything? Like, we accept everything. Yeah. And it's ridiculous. It's absolutely insane. And so on the other side of this, I understand that this has been hard on a lot of people. There's a lot of wrestling fans that are just, like, broken over this. It's crazy to me that so many people are so broken by this that happened because it's someone that they didn't really know.
Yeah, you don't even know the person.
Maybe it's because they can relate to not being able to cope and handle it. That's the only thing I can get. Yeah. The people that are, like, completely broken about it don't have coping skills. That's why they're broken.
You can be upset about it. I mean, you could be like, you could feel bad. You're like, man, that sucks. I can't believe that person is not going to be around anymore. It's like, wow. It's like, just crazy that person's not. It's like when Kobe Bryant died. We're like, holy crap, I can't believe Kobe Bryant is not going to be around anymore. Like, this is insane. But am I going to cry about it? No. Does it suck?
I cry. Yeah. I cried when Tupac died. When Tupac died, I cried. But I got over it because I had coping skills and I knew how to cope and deal with it. There are a lot of people that don't know how to cope because anytime something bad happens, they got handed a ferret and put in a room for an hour until they could calm down and rejoin the group and everything was good. And like, you okay now? Are you okay? Do you need a piece of candy?
Right. Nobody wants to deal with. Nobody wants to deal with freaking nobody wants to deal with conflict. Nobody wants to deal with like stuff. And working in programs like, you know, for 20 years and watching kids, like I never had problems because like I didn't allow anyone to like mouth off. Yeah. Like didn't allow that shit around me. I was like, no, you're not gonna mouth off to me. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't care. You're not gonna mouth off to me. You're gonna hit the road, and I don't care whether you like it or not. And if you're gonna be bad about it, whoop-de-doo. Like what are you gonna do? Beat me up? No, you're not gonna beat me up, so I'm not worried about it. So then just move your ass out, and that's the end of it. And then maybe afterwards I could go back to you afterwards when you're all melt down and say, look, here's the reason. This is what I expect. This is what I want. This is how it's done. You deal with it or you don't. And they learn real quick how to deal with it. Okay, this is the rules. This is what I expect when you come in here. This is what I expect when you're in here. I do not tolerate you talking to me like that. I never have and never will. And thus, why I never had any kids mouthing off to me. Never had kids trying to beat me up or anything like that. No. You know why? Because I don't allow it.
So, and this is kind of off of wrestling. It's kind of like a sidebar for us right now. But you've worked in like that in that field for, like you said, like 20 years.
Right.
And back when we were in college and we worked at St. Vincent's and we worked with kids there, like look at those kids, right? These are like there are kids killing themselves because someone said mean things to them.
Yeah.
We worked with kids who were abused, who were neglected, who were sexually abused, and some of them had real reasons on why they wanted to kill themselves. And we were able to teach them how to cope and to not do it. Right. So to me, it's like, listen, and this is why I say the problem isn't that people are mean. The problem is we're not teaching coping skills to kids anymore. We're not teaching them how to deal and how to manage. We're giving them a ferret, throwing them in a room, and tell me when you're okay to come back in the room.
People can't handle anything anymore. They can't. Everyone's got to be in there, but they can't handle it. God forbid you should do something, and nobody can handle it. If you walk into a store,
people are going to be triggered watching this episode.
Well, of course,
people are going to be mad watching this episode.
Yeah, I mean, if I walked into a store right now without a mask on, people wouldn't be able to handle it.
No.
You know, I'm like, dude, just deal with it. Like, it's not that big of a deal. You can deal with it. It's okay. You'll be fine. It's okay. People are afraid. Everyone lives in fear. People don't think they are. It's like, dude, no, you're all living in fear. Everyone lives in fear every day now.
Yep.
You're afraid of the worst thing, the worst case scenario all the time. And it's the most extreme too. It's always the most extreme. It's never like there's a possibility. No, it's always the most extreme. It's not that if you walk out, you may get sick. No, you're gonna die. You know what I mean? It's always everyone jumps to the point that you're gonna die. It's like, no. You're 3 times more likely to survive and be fine than you are going to die. Number one. Number two, if you're going to die, unless you have some preconceived like health issues, then yeah, you run the risk of being in trouble. If you're a healthy human being, you're not going to die.
I'm going to be fine.
They're going to be perfectly fine. Average age of people who die in the United States of COVID-19 is 60. Are you 60? No, then you're not going to. Then the odds of you dying are pretty low. So you'll be fine.
We've built a whole society of people being fearful of everything and not being.
Everyone's afraid of everything.
That's what we've done right now, and it's shitty. I like. I want to move on from the whole topic, but before we do, I just want to say it's shitty. It's messed up that a 22-year-old girl who was talented as all hell, and even though she didn't realize it, obviously, she had the whole world in front of her. Right. And we lost her because we don't teach people how to cope. It's not because people are mean and people bully. No, it's because we don't teach proper coping mechanisms. Sure. And if you think that the problem is that people are mean and we need to stop people being mean, you're the problem.
Yeah, it'll never happen anyways. It's impossible. We want everyone to be happy. It's not going to happen. You're never going to get to that point. So it's a false hope. You'll never reach that.
If you think that that's what that we need to do, we need to stop. We need to charge people. If people bully on Facebook or Twitter and then someone kills themselves, they should be charged with murder. No, you are the problem. It's you, the person that says that. If that's how you feel, you are the reason that this girl is dead. And you can like it or don't like it, but that's the facts. I don't really care. And guess what? Censor me. Cancel culture. We're going to cancel culture. We don't want to watch your show. Good. I don't want you to watch my show if you're a snowflake like that. Go watch another show with some other dumb shit. With some guy who's going to pander to your little pussified ways. That's kind of just what it is.
Go watch The Masked Singer.
Right?
So sanitary.
We're going to move on from this, but before we do, we're going to take a quick break. If you are watching this on our YouTube channel, I'm the new thing that I'm doing, all of our episodes will be in a playlist. So you can click on the playlist and watch this straight through on the playlist. And if not, if you just watch this one video, go look on the page and you'll see part 2 to this, and I'll continue there. If not, if you're just listening to this on the podcast, you don't have to do anything. We're going to take a quick break. You guys are going to hear a commercial, and we'll be right back. This is Smarks, Spotmonkeys, and Superkicks.